Let's go to another one that's been a hot topic. The Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Dallas absolutely mushed the New England Patriots in Dallas. They bounced back after a really embarrassing, kind of disappointing loss to the Arizona Cardinals. So on the conference level, I'll ask you, Brad.
I'm going to go 5. The only reason I'm saying that is because the Cowboys haven't played anybody that I would say is competitive. And so, yeah, they're going to beat up on these shitty teams, but we saw what the Cardinals did to them. And listen, Josh Dobbs is better than I thought that he was, and the Cardinals might be better than I thought that they are. So I'm the verdict's out for me on the Cowboys until they actually play somebody worth playing. So I'm going to go 5 on Cowboys.
I like that with 5 on the confidence meter because, like you said, they really haven't played anyone yet, and they have tough stretch coming up with 2 of the West Coast teams at San Francisco, at LA, playing the Chargers as well, and then they take on the Rams. But the Rams are like the outlier.
The Rams are a wild card team, man. You just never know what team you're going to get. And this is just the whole point of what we're talking about. But yeah,
I'm saying like 2 high-powered offenses though with San Francisco and with LA with the Chargers right there. And then when they play the Eagles, like you're really going to get kind of a gauge of how good the Cowboys are, because if the Eagles come out and punch them in the mouth, it's going to be okay. It's the Cowboys of old. The Cowboys are, choke artists like they always are year in and year out. But if they go out and they beat the Eagles in that first NFC East matchup, okay, maybe the Cowboys really are contenders. But the last couple of games on the schedule, they have at Buffalo and at Miami. Those are going to be big ones as well.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So they have some heavy hitters coming up on that schedule, some not so heavy hitters as well, but we're really going to know how good the Cowboys are probably in the next couple of weeks for sure.
The Cowboys. Well, that's the thing. Right now, they're record-wise. Teams that they've played record-wise, each team that they've beaten is 1-3 on the season.
Yeah.
So, and the Jets being down Aaron Rodgers, Mac Jones being the quarterback for the Patriots, which I don't know what happened in that game at all. That was just, they just got smacked. There's no other way to put it. Just got the shit beat out of them. And then the first game you played the Giants, who are trying to even their record tonight, and we'll get into a quick game pick here after this segment. But the Giants are still trying to find their identity. So to your point, which Cowboy team we're going to see? We saw the Cowboys dominate last year in these types of same situations, but it's going to be when the moments get tougher and the games are going to be a little bit higher staked. Where do they stand?
They're winning the games. They've won the games that they're supposed to win, except for the Cardinals game. But, I think the Cardinals are a little bit better than maybe we thought they were. But you had mentioned, Rocco, the Eagles. And it's funny that we're putting them out there as like a team to beat when, in fact, they almost lost to the Commanders yesterday. And it was a thrilling game. You guys didn't catch it. It was an overtime game. Sam Howell was out there doing his thing, and he actually looked legit. And it looks as if perhaps the Commanders are also legit. It makes you wonder, are they and maybe it's still early. We're through the first quarter. You usually have a pretty good idea of what teams are going to be, but I really just don't have any clue. You look at the Eagles, how they performed against the Patriots week 1, right? Like they blew a pretty solid lead, and they haven't really just gone out and dominated anybody. That makes me think, oh wow, like this is the same old Eagles team that we saw last year. So that's another one where I'm kind of like on the fence. So if I was scaling as far as confidence is concerned, scale 1 to 10, I'm going 5 on the Eagles too.
I'm going to be a little bit higher on the Eagles. They lost their offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. Both of them got head coaching jobs with the Cardinals and then with the Colts as well. So there's been a lot of change, a lot of turnover in Philadelphia, and this team competes. They have winners. It feels like they were trying to kind of feel each other out at first with A.J. Brown, a little bit of an incident there with him kind of getting frustrated, but it's that competitive nature. It wasn't anything to kind of bat an eye at.
Right,
it's just A.J. Brown being a competitor. He goes out, he has an insane touchdown catch kind of over the shoulder. I mean, a lot of people are going to say that's routine, but that's still a tough catch to make when you're kind of looking back with less than 2 minutes to go that ended up giving the Eagles the lead. And then Washington goes down and they score with 2 seconds left. That was crazy insanity, but the Eagles found a way to win. They're now 4-0 on the year. And I truly believe it's right now the Eagles and the Niners at the top of the NFC, not just based off of record, but just based off of talent. And I feel like that's going to be where it is again when the season ends.
That entire Georgia Bulldog defense.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I'm
Wild.
going to go 8 with the Eagles because I do think they are a top 2 team in the NFC. I don't think anything's changed. I think you brought up the Cowboys, how they beat the teams they're supposed to. The Eagles are doing the exact same thing, but then they also are coming off of being in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything that says they can't get back to what they were last year. It's just we're not used to them, or it was the perception of when you dominate or you think a team's so good that they are going to go and dominate each team each and every night.
Yeah.
And the reality is that hasn't happened. They had a tough, close game with the Vikings where it was a battle. They squeaked out that game versus the Pats. They did really dominate the game against the Bucs. That was really not as close as the score indicated. It was a 14-point game. And then you have a divisional game. Like those games are tough. We talk about that all the time. Divisional games are tough, and the Commanders play the Eagles very tough. Specifically. So I'm going to go with 8 because there's still, if I'm going to look across the NFC right now, the only team I'd consider ahead of them at the moment is the San Francisco 49ers because they're a juggernaut and Christian McCaffrey has just transformed that backfield. And then Brock Purdy is unstoppable. They have all the weapons and that defense is ferocious.